Where's bro at? I do not know how YouTube works. So I'm trying to go live with my guy. So we'll just go ahead and do it on Instagram, and then we'll go ahead and just let the audio play on YouTube. But this is a live and where we've had a YBC student that got started back with us in August of 2022. I've been able to witness his. Let me go ahead and start the live. Go ahead and hop on the Instagram live, Alex. Let me go ahead and drop it in the caption. So super blessed, super grateful to be here. You guys are going to be hearing from somebody that got started within YBC's personal mentorship back in August of 2022. And he came to me like, yo, bro, I got student loan debt of over $25,000 that I'm looking to get removed. I'm not looking to pay it. I got the money to do so. I trade. I'm a day trader, but I'm not looking to pay this student loan debt. And I was just like, okay, he's like, are you able to help me? He had a lot of questions. I wouldn't say skeptical, but more so just looking for the information. And he came to me. He trusted in me. He believed in me. He seen my content that I had been dropping months prior. Because we're actually a part of the same investment group, Price Trappers LLC, and from there. He had just seen the information, the consumer law, understanding that it's all in black and white. I didn't really, all I did is break down to him everything that we're doing, everything that we're exercising, how and why we don't owe anybody anything. And then he was like, okay, I'll do what it takes to study. I'll do what it takes to put the time in to learn this information. So I was just like, bet, let's get locked in. He got locked in from day one. He's been applying pressure to these creditors, to these consumer reporting agencies. And I'm going to let him tell you guys a little bit more on his process. He's coming in here right now. But imagine, what would y'all do if 26,000 were to come off your guys' report for student loans? Let me see. He did just request up in here. He should be coming up in here anytime now. So who's got student loans? Drop a 1 in the chat if you got student loans on your guys' credit report. And his student loans were in perfect standing. Nothing was wrong with them. They weren't negative at all. But he was able to get these, the whole amount that they quote unquote stated he owed. And the reason why we are able to get it removed is because we really don't owe anything. Peace, God.
Peace,
how you doing,
brother?
kid?
How are you? Good, man. Great. Can't complain, man. What you been up to?
Man, highly blessed and highly favored. How are you feeling, big boss, man? Mr. 26K, disputed.
Words can't explain it, man. It's been a lot of weight off my shoulders, man. Obviously, it was a long process, man. I think we've been talking since last August or so. It was definitely a lot of adversity I had to take, a lot of reflection. I learned a lot about myself, a lot of self-belief. I obviously had a little bit of doubts about it because I messaged you. I think I DM'd you the first time we met, and I was like, you was promoting, I guess, all these loans that you can take out of your credit report. And then I messaged you. I was like, you do student loans too? I was like, oh, I bet. Let's get this thing running. You know what I'm saying? But rest was history after that, man.
So what was running through your mind like when you first see my content when I was talking about that information? Because I mean it. A lot of times, people that are just new to this, and I mean everybody, me myself included, it was just too good to be true. Almost, it's like it don't even make sense. Like what were your first thoughts, and then what was the clicking point that really got you to see the power of consumer law and that this really does work and that is not a game?
Yeah, so like you said earlier, the first time I recognized you, we were both from PTS, Prize Trappers, and you used to run Sunday evening calls. While I was at work, I would tap into it. And the language you were using in those the Sunday calls were open for the public, for those of you that don't know. But yeah, so I'll hop on the calls and the language that you're using. So, for example, if I were to see somebody in the morning, I'd be like, good morning. But morning usually means like death. It's like good death. Why am I saying good death? Instead, use grand rising. So when you said stuff like that, it's kind of clicked like, okay, this guy kind of knows what he's talking about. And then I kind of just later on just kind of like rolled through with the punches and then eventually got started with you. And what was your last question?
Yeah, words cast spells. And I was saying, what was the clicking point that got you to truly see the vision and the power of consumer law? So just from the calls?
Yeah, and also before I started seeing you, I saw other credit repairing companies as well. I guess yours was kind of a confirmation, and also it's kind of like networking. I was more, I guess, closer to you. I had more. I could communicate with you more and more one on one, if anything. But yeah, like I said, it was more of a confirmation. Did a little bit of research before joining, and I saw it was possible. I saw results from everybody else. I know it could happen for everybody.
Yes, sir. And so, give me, and like you were saying, yeah, like, good morning. Why would we want to mourn? Words literally create and alter the future of our reality. Words cast a spell, words create a ripple upon the ether of space and time. So, what we say is
Thanks.
truly everything. And, there's, life or death is in the tongue, truly. And, that's why they give us these certain dictionaries, the Webster's dictionary, the Merriam dictionary, so that we can learn from these, fictitious, words and these definitions of these words, rather than learning the true etymology and root of these words and what they truly mean, especially when we get into
Thanks.
that courtroom. And so, Alex has been able to come through and do so, break down contracts. So what did the process look a little bit like, with you going through and getting these student loans deleted? What are some steps that you took from the beginning? Say somebody new, just getting started, what are some things that they can do to go ahead and, get these student loans removed?
Okay, so the first thing I would do is, so for me, particularly in my situation, I was part of that COVID pause where the student loans I wasn't paying any student loans for, I guess, 3 years or so. And the best thing I would say is I rarely even talked to the debt collection agencies. I talked more of the CRAs, the Experience, the TransUnion, the Equifaxes. And from there, where did I go from there? Oh, yeah, the first thing I did was fix my credit, which was first logging into my position. I think is how important that is because
You're breaking up a little bit.
personal information. Can you hear me?
You're going in and out a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
You sound a little bit better.
All right, let me know. Am I good?
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good now.
All right. So what I left off was the personal information of my credit list in my experience, and I realized I had two names on my Experian personal information. It was Alexander Taylor and Alexander R. Taylor. For those of you that don't know, that your name is linked to the creditor. So the debt collection agency that you're less obligated to pay. And so what I did is, so as I hit up Experian, I called Experian to remove one of the names that was connected to my collection agencies. And so obviously they gave me a hard time, gaslighting me, telling me I'm wrong, and eventually got removed. And I said at that point, that was kind of like that was very important because that's the only way they have linked to any of my CRAs, my consumer reporting agencies. And so I would start off with fixing your personal information as well. Also have one of everything, one name, one date of birth, the list goes on, the year you were born, the address. And once that's done, I would say is give them a call saying that to speak to a supervisor, for one, if you guys wanted to try that. Me personally, I tried that a couple of times, and there was some other stuff. So what I did was file a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau CFPB. So the CFPB is kind of like a CFPB. If you guys have a complaint about the consumer age, again, the experience, the TransUnion, the Equifax, you file a complaint with them. Yeah, you file a complaint with the CFPB. Make sure you write a situation out, and they're just keep your eyes checked. And from there, I'm going to tell you the same thing over and over as verified.
You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up now. No, you're buffering.
All right. Give me a second. Hear me? Hear me?
No, not really.
All right, let me see something. Give me a second.
You're good, bro.
You hear me?
Yeah, you good now.
All right. I was talking about the CFPB. You guys hear that part?
Yeah, a little bit. As you started getting into it, it started buffering. They didn't want everybody to hear the sauce.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, the CFPB is kind of the if you guys have a complaint about the consumer reporting agencies, again, the Equifax, TransUnion, and the Experience, that's where you report to them, telling them, yo, look, Experience messing with me, messing with my credit, they're not taking me seriously. And then from there, okay, I was talking about CFPBs, and then, yeah, I would say file CFPB if anything. Either that or call them. Ask to speak to a supervisor, because if you call them, they're going to either send you to the dispute process, dispute department, or they're going to send you to the just people that are going to point you in the wrong direction, really. So I would recommend sending them to a supervisor. They're going to keep trying to test you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good now. You're good now.
Okay, but so I just continuing to apply pressure to the CRAs. Again, I don't know if you guys looked at the date. It took us about months, because it's a process. It's a lot of adversity as well. It was a point where I messaged Tone. I was like, yo, Tone, I don't know, man. They playing games. That was when my self-belief was a little bit low on it.
Yeah, it was.
Eventually, he told me to get on it. I'm doing a good job, and just keep applying pressure. And you'll be amazed how much success you get if you just keep applying pressure to the situation. But I hope I answered all your questions on that one.
Yeah, no, you definitely did, bro. And I mean, you hit it, bro. You hit it on the head. I mean, with you just staying consistent, at the end of the day, like, you knew what you were applying was the law, but you didn't know 100%, that it was gonna work. And that's just like people's goals. Like, you know that what your goal is attainable, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna fully happen. If you stay consistent, if you have faith, if you put in the work, you're gonna get the results. That's with everything and anything. It is what it is. It's in black and white. It's not something I'm making up. I'm not no guru. It's federal laws and codes in which we're using to get these items removed, because we don't owe any debt. The United States is actually indebted to us, we the people. We're backed full in faith by credit. We don't owe any of these corporations, which are dead entities, anything. They owe us, everything, because we grant them the right to extend credit. Without us, they're not able to extend credit. I want everybody to go look into the Emergency Banking Act of 1933. You guys, that's the fifth international the United States was in. And from there, they also came up with laws that, were passed that stated that banks are not lawfully able to loan out money. Banks are bankrupt. They don't have any money. Where do they get the money from? They get it from our open-end credit plan. They get it from our credit card, which is attached to our, the open-end credit plan is attached to our credit card. And that's why we don't owe anybody anything, because from the moment that they received access to our social security number is a moment that they've been paid in full. The reason why we make any payments is simply because we agree to their contract. But there's not one law that states just because we had, agreed to a contract that, we're obligated to make any payments, upon it. We've been deceived. We've been misled. There's so many things within the FDCPA alone that break that down, on, how to go against, these debt collectors. Anybody attempting to collect any type of payment, any form of payment, is a debt collector. So all these student loan, lenders are all debt collectors, and you guys can use the FDCPA as Alex did to get these removed. And so, one last word: what would you say for somebody just getting started into consumer law? Somebody wanting to learn, but not knowing where to start, who to learn from. What are some tips or some things that you would state for somebody coming in learning about consumer law?
For somebody to learn from YBC or just consumer law in general?
Just consumer law in general.
The one thing I would say is kind of just take your time with the information, because don't learn everything at once, because you're not going to learn anything. It's a lot. To be honest, I treat this as if it's like my school, my education, because obviously we've been in the education system. We've been taught false things that weren't important, unless you want to become a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, that's a different story. But just take it day by day, slow, because self-education is very important. Very important. That's how the elites, the rich became rich. And I guess the best advice: take your time, take a lot of notes, lots of notes. I couldn't tell you how many books of notes that I have, flashcards, man. But
Facts.
that's my advice.
And so, for somebody looking to get started with YBC, what's one reason why somebody should get started with the mentorship?
Y'all should get started with the mentorship because it's a lot of value. Because it's not only talks about credit; it talks about the history of money, where money came from, the history of the United States. For those of you who don't know the difference between the United States and the United States of America, that's an example. Threw some small sauce in there, but once you learn that, your perspective on the whole world is going to be a lot different.
Yes, sir.
Totally different. I'm telling you, it's an all-star package.
Yes, sir.
It's an all-star package. Something. Honestly, it's too cheap if you ask me. The pricing, if you ask me, it's a lot of value. I recommend you guys tap into the information.
That part. And price definitely is about to go up real soon. You definitely did locking out a great time. I'm just waiting for these lenders to kick in. We about to partner with like 15 different lenders, for our higher ticket packages. But that's love, bro. Appreciate you tuning in. Congratulations on your success. 26,000 discharged in student loans. It's just the beginning, bro. Now, one thing my mentor always told me: to know something, but to not do is to not know it all. So to know this information, but not be helping others as well too, is selfish of you, because you know and got access to information that can be helping a lot of people. So make sure you're going out, helping people, spreading word, on what it is that you did, and that, you can help them do and learn and everything as well too. And that we can help them here learn at YBC. So I appreciate you, bro. This is the beginning. We locked in, bro, 4E truly. And the moves we're about to make, bro, is about to be, insane. So now let's get you ready for funding. Let's go get you funded, anywhere from 100,000 plus. And then from there, we'll put that money to work. So let's run it, bro.
For sure. Most definitely, bro. Good talking to you.
Likewise, King. Peace and love, bro. We out. Sheesh, family. So real quick, before we go ahead and hop off, does anybody have any questions for me? I'll show you guys right here as well too some receipts. Negative 26,000 removed off one's report. So this isn't something we're just talking about. This is a post he just made. You guys can all go to his Instagram as well too. Let me see. Let me pull up another one for you guys. Showing that has been removed. Student loans, 0. Total debt, $68 from his credit card debt. Remember, it was 26,000. Imagine investing 2,500 into yourself. Item removed. Account closed. One closed account. Bow. So imagine investing into yourself a couple $1,000s to learn how to get over 20,000 of student loans removed off one's report. Not only are we going to go get funding, we could also get remedy from student loan lender. So we're about to get paid double. We're about to get paid leveraging his credit and on the back end for the violations per each violation. So you guys just seen and just heard from my man Alex how he was able to remove 26,000 in student loan debt. So I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. Hope that you all have an amazing evening. I'm going to send you all peace and love. We out. YouTube, tap in, man. If you don't already follow the Instagram, go follow the Instagram at Credit Gotti and stay tuned with us through there for more information. Follow the business page at Billionaires Club _ club with a V, CLVB. Go to Billionaires Club CLVB once again.com/all to schedule a 15-minute call with me. From there, we'll be able to hop on. You can ask any questions for free for 15 minutes, and you guys will be speaking with me, Credit Gotti, the one and only. So I appreciate you all. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace and love. We out.